Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Rome Total War. Last time we did a pretty good job securing the vast majority of southern Greece. Sparta and Corinth both belong to us, as indeed does the statue of Zeus to Olympia, so all our settlements are a lot happier. Look at all those green, well, not really smiley faces, they're just green faces, but like, I like to imagine they're smiling. I should install a mod that makes them a bit more smiley. That'll make a lot more sense. And today, well, we should go after Athens, that's what the flipping Senate want us to do, but unfortunately, it's currently suffering from plague. Totally my fault, the plague. But also, what's the Temple of, well, Large Temple of Athena? Should have expected that one in Athens, to be honest. Yes, that does make a lot of sense. But we've got bigger problems. While our armies were overwhelmingly focused on southern Greece, the perfidious Carthaginians have come and laid siege to Croton. Fortunately, even though they've attacked a settlement that doesn't actually have a general inside it, I think they have made a bit of a stupid mistake, which is the besieging army is up here in the north, and therefore the majority of their strength is actually in reinforcements to the south. Now, I think if I fight a quick sally battle, this will partly resolve itself, therefore, because the AI is a little bit stupid when it comes to moving around towns. In fact, actually, they've just given up. They've just straight up given up without actually bothering. Okay, that's fine. Well, actually, it's not too surprising. The force that attacked me was literally 70 skirmishers and 3 round shield cavalry. So I guess I shouldn't have expected that much from them. Meanwhile, now I know exactly what this stupid force here is, which is 3 units of cavalry, 2 units of skirmishers and 3 units of Iberian infantry, but not full strength ones, slightly damaged ones. So, in all fairness, we could probably, if we just drive off their ships quickly, there we are, driven off the ships there, so now those guys can't escape anymore. So now a single unit of cavalry, in fact, could just go, wait, hang on, why couldn't, okay, a single unit of cavalry can totally, there you are, I can totally just win this fight very, very easily. Aside from the slightly annoying fact, apparently I have to charge massively uphill, but never mind, I should still be able to win this pretty easily. And if I'm very, very lucky indeed, this Equites might actually be promoted to a general unit because, oh yes, and their skirmishers are indeed hiding in long grass right now, but that's fine, I know they're there. Because I am actually a little bit short on generals. When you expand very quickly, the game's much more likely to award you with a, hey, your unit did really well, so therefore we're promoting it to a general event, which just seems to like happen as a little bit of are you not bothering to get involved? Alright, fine. We'll just literally murder the cavalry then. Hello! And dead, 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 dead. Your general is fleeing and dead. Beautiful. And now we just finish these guys off. They will break very quickly because we're coming uphill. We're charging into skirmishers. Your general's dead. Something, something, something. And we've won. Probably shouldn't have come and attacked Italy, should you Carthaginian bastards? Right, let's just send the army that we have been training here at Tarentum down to Croton to assist those guys. Now, this entire army should be able to very, very easily take out this crappy army. In fact, yep, the Carthaginians have acknowledged that by fleeing. In fact, we should be able to just follow up and finish them off right now. Let's just leave the Town Watch present. We don't actually need those guys. Town Watch can stay there. Everyone else can... Oh, I can't quite make it. That's annoying. Well, that's fine. Those guys will be able to finish off the stupid Carthaginians next turn, unless they make the very sensible decision to flee immediately. Right, in which case, yes, we've got... In fact, why would you bother coming over here? You've literally got one of your towns under siege. Go and reinforce them, you bastards. Meanwhile, we've just got a handful of Greek forces over here. Nothing major. In fact, actually, as soon as we've had a chance to retrain a little bit. In fact, can we retrain here? Oh, yeah, of course. This is the settlement where there's basically no ability to retrain anything. So what I need to do instead is... Oh, look at that. Look at the beautiful armor and what he's done. Oh, and the Temple of Artemis. +1 experience, gold, everything. Now, all of a sudden, my basic Roman archers are doing 11 per missile attack. That is just gorgeous. Oh, but the Cretan archers, 14. 14 missile attack with no XP. That is just a thing of beauty. Right, lads, I need you lot to just loop together for a bit because, yeah, we need you to go to, yeah, you go to them. Then you go over to, that's actually going to merge you, that's fine. We'll merge you into you. You're down to 7, that's fine. So that group of 7, you go down to Sparta for some retraining. The rest of you should probably actually just go and murder those Greeks just to start weakening them, because then the force that's left here, when Athens recovers from plague, will be very, very weak indeed. So, you actually gained a... Yeah, you were always a tedious speaker. You already had a trait. Have you got a trait yet? He does! He has a trait. He's a confident commander. Yay, he's actually got a trait. That's marvellous. Now, we'll actually retrain that Hastati. Marvellous, that works for me. Beautiful. We're already sucking what's left of the population that we haven't enslaved dry straight into the Roman army. But I guess if your options are be enslaved or join the Roman army, joining the Roman army doesn't seem so bad. Yeah, the Greek forces here are basically nothing much in the way of cavalry. One unit of militia cavalry, but that's nothing major. I should just be able to just take my main army here, especially now I've got my upgraded archers, and just go and basically literally run them over. This is absolutely fine for steamrolling. So off we go. They're willing to fight? Really? And the game is saying that this is an even matchup, nearly. Just a 3-to-2 ratio, and I've got 2,380 men, including horses with upgraded weapons and armor, archers with gold bows, a significant cavalry advantage, archers, and they've just got... Alright, fine. You want to do this? That's 100% fine. Let's go and absolutely flipping murder you if you think that you stand any chance whatsoever. Okay, let's just quickly position ourselves on some nice high ground. If we can just basically slowly move around them so we can take the high ground, that would work for me. Yeah, I think actually we should be pretty safe. Just skirt around them like this, because they're waiting for the reinforcements to join them anyway. So if I just skirt around them, I should be able to take the high ground pretty easily. If it looks like there's any movement whatsoever towards an advance, we'll just use our archers to murder anything that's pulling ahead. In particular, like, the most annoying thing they've got is the militia cavalry. Well, we can totally use our own archers to deal with that before it becomes any form of a problem. So, just wait, be ready to hit that play button just in case they start charging forward. But I think we should be fine. Yeah, and now we've got what's clear. Yeah, now we've got the high ground. That's 100% fine. We should be just safe to move on them right now. Ah! And there, in fact, as well. There's presumably the port of Corinth in distance, and Corinth itself up on the hill there. Lovely. Just such a wonderful sense of place and topography in this game. Now, what have they drawn up as? They've got 4 units of decent quality hoplites here. Hoplites, armoured hoplites, the peltasts. The leader of at least one of the armies is armoured hoplites, and the leader of another one is the militia cavalry. Well, that's fine. That should be pretty easy to take care of in that case. I will put these guys back onto fire at will. They're not quite in range yet, but they should be pretty darn soon. So we'll just slowly push forward here. Everyone run if you'd be so kind. Thank you. So are they now going to try and charge? Because if they respond to being fired upon by charging, that works. Oh, they were down to 128. Was that how much damage they just took? Oh, yes. That's nice. That's what I like to see. And they are moving forward. Beautiful. They're moving forward, so I'm just going to turn the fire off them onto the armoured hoplites, and my normal archers can tear those bastards apart when they are stupid enough to get too close. Beautiful. So now the Cretans will turn their attention over here. Both my archers now move into range, so these guys are now going to be attacked from both sides. Beautiful. Be ready for the militia hoplites. These guys are now marching slowly up a hill against archers. This is just a thing of beauty. And at this point, these guys are so exposed, I think it will definitely be fair for me to just start sending some flipping cavalry forward just to start spooking them. I think if we just slam them in the back, they will panic. They won't know what to do. Lovely. You guys aren't... Oh, yeah, you don't know what to do. And now they're being shot in the back, which means they're screwed. Beautiful. Yeah, I can bring the cavalry a little bit more far forward yet. Now my Cretan archers change their fire on some armoured hoplites over there. This unit of armoured hoplites is already moving forward, but now they're in range of my normal archers, who are now doing... Oh, look at that crossfire. That's a thing of beauty. Armoured hoplites being torn apart. Horses can just move around the back here. Yeah, you absolutely sure you want to fight this battle, lads? Because you're the one who chose to fight this. You could have run, alright? You could have run, and now, just let's move some cavalry around the rear of you. I think you're going to be extremely unhappy very, very soon indeed. In a minute, you'll panic, and then... Oh, hang on. Is that the militia cavalry waking up and deciding it wants to do something? Let's just quickly bring my cavalry. Yeah, if I just hit them in the back, I think they'll be done right now. In fact, they're already wavering. They're already wavering. And just a second. Lovely. And done. get the cavalry out of there. I don't want the cavalry taking additional damage from the archers, but they're pretty much done now. Beautiful. Actually, get the cavalry over this side, in fact, given the they're over there. And the cavalry have taken a fair bit of damage from the archers, but never mind. Right, now I just want to move my line just a little bit further forward, because I want to take out the... Oh, hello. Are you absolutely sure you want to do this? Okay, the militia cavalry have decided to expose itself. That is absolutely A-okay. I am totally fine with them doing that. I'm just going to... Oh, yeah, come on, guys. Come on, and, well, we can get a good few rounds in on that. That militia cavalry is going to start going down. Oh, look at the annoying bastards fall. Alright, we've moved forward a little bit, and now my Cretan archers have a clear line at the militia cavalry itself, which is going to start falling very quickly because it's got no flipping defense whatsoever. Nice. And my normal archers, I think, almost just about have a shot at the armoured hoplites. Yep, I think they do. Beautiful. And my archers of Crete are out of arrows, tragically. And I think you guys have already... You've either broken or you're very close to it. We'll just slam into the back of you, then immediately back off a little bit, just for fun. There we are. Took a couple of horses of loss there. Enough to freak you out a little bit. Shoot those guys once in the back while they flee, why don't you? Lovely. Peltas have decided they might want a go. That's fine for me. And then just now my normal skirmish is just coming in here. You've already broken. You're about to break momentarily. These guys are as good as screwed as well. Lovely. Now everyone's broken. Yep. Now it's all collapsing very rapidly. Will they even decide to stay and fight at this point, or are they going to give it up? Who knows? Bit of back and forth later. There's basically nothing left aside from one unit of armoured hoplites in good condition, who are the general's units, and also militia cavalry, another general's unit. That's absolutely fine. Apparently, these guys, do you really want to do this? Okay. If you want to do this, I will gladly shoot some arrows at you. My archers, I've kept some arrows back specially for this occasion. So, the leaders are pulling up. We will just now quickly move ourselves in such a position we can just toss the pilum in. My velites are coming around to the back as well. This is all going to go beautifully well. You're going to panic and be shaken and something. And then you're going to go over here. And my velites are going to get around the back of you. And this is all going to be beautiful. And as soon as my Hastati get around the back of you while you're also being thrown at, you immediately break. Lovely. What's going on with the general down there, by the way? Oh, dear. So, that's just happening. Basically, my cavalry can't catch these cavalry, and until these guys technically die, this battle can't end. So that's fine. The thing is, this cavalry unit is chasing that cavalry unit all around the map, meaning eventually this cavalry unit is going to get very, very tired. That guy just died. Lovely. Which means, yeah, my equites back home, however, are fresh. So all I need to do is basically just send the equites after them. And by the way, there's a lovely bit of water. I might get right close to the water. There was actually a little water sound effect, by the way. There you are. You can vaguely hear water trickling. It's not exactly, you know, the best. Oh, no, never mind. We've got them. We've got them. They got stuck somewhere, and now we're just murdering all of them. Beautiful. I believe that should be the job done. Yep, that'll do. 14 and 15 kills to 855. Archers, man. It's all about the flipping archers. So they're dead, and I assume the enemy army is routed, yep, with no chance of anyone getting away. Get everyone back into Corinth, where we can... Well, we can't really retrain them, to be honest, because there's no way to retrain them. But we can at least rearm them, put some better quality armor, because, yeah, obviously you can literally see that improved armor and improved weaponry is literally +1/+1 to attack and defense, which is very, very welcome indeed. And also, not just to the melee attack, but also to the missile attack. It doesn't just improve your sword, it also improves the pilum. So that's good. And we've got our first assassin ready here as well. Beautiful. Now, we need to find a nice, squishy, soft target to start training him up on. Because he can't go taking on, like, you know, family members already. He's only got a 21% chance of taking on a family member. Because those guys have got retinues and bodyguards. And some of them are more susceptible than others. That's why spies and assassins work well together. You can figure out who's soft and squishy versus who's actually tough to take out. And faction leaders and factionaires have, like, an automatic bonus applied to them. Meaning they're very difficult to assassinate. But say a diplomat, that might be a decent starting point. Actually, this guy's pretty tough to take out. But we shall see if we get lucky.
Death approaches.
Oh, and he goes down. Beautiful. So we've got assassination mission success. and trait increase. Obviously, just like a spy, when he spies, he gets better at spying. An assassin who kills people gets better at killing. So this guy is now, he's got a, oh, he's got the pet, oh, he started off with the pet monkey. That's pretty good. Sorry, I thought that was my spy, not my assassin. Talent for assassination, so that's probably the lowest level he can get to. Sadly, he's not an assassination genius, but he's picked up cutthroat for +1, and he has a pet monkey for +2. So he's now up to 4. Sometimes this man recognizes subterfuge for what it is. Sometimes he even makes use of it himself. Doesn't sound like the best assassin, but what have you. He's getting better as an assassin, and as he does more assassinations, he will indeed get better. Let's send him up towards the Macedonians. We might be able to pick off 1 or 2 of their lot with him. Now he's up to 4 out of 10 on the subterfuge. And speaking of which, actually, the guy who I infected with plague and then basically sent round the whole world, he's actually recovered from his plague. So that's nice. Athens, however, is sadly still suffering from it. So, actually, when I say sadly, that really works for me. Not sadly in the slightest, it's really good news. Well, that's probably all we can do for now. I need my troops to recharge, to retrain, but next turn, not only will we have our armies pretty much back up to full strength out of Sparta and Corinth, we will actually have much better armies. The armies that were in Sparta will have picked up experience, the armies that were in Corinth will have picked up better quality armour and weapons. So that should put us in a very good position to move straight on to Athens, assuming it's got over its little nasty case of the plague. And in my experience, generally, when it says the plague's gone, leave it a couple of turns extra just in case, because sometimes the plague flares up again if you take over a city when it's very recently had the plague. It's best just to be careful. So maybe we'll just let Athens be for a couple of turns, even when it says it's back to normal. Now, let's end this turn and see, actually, logically, the Greeks at this point pretty much have to come out and try and take on the Scipii, and to be honest, I suspect the Greeks can still win, even having been starved out for like 3.5 years. This is their final desperate last stand. I suspect they're going to win anyway, because the Romans just don't have anything here, to be honest. There's just nothing that makes up a good, solid front line there. Ah, and indeed, the Scipii are finally doing something at least. The armies of Publius Scipio have decided to try and take Lilybaeum. He's going up again. He's outnumbered. What is he doing? So it's him, this guy Publius Scipio, who is trusty, fine, command talent, doubtful courage, oh, poor morale, unusual, bad at everything other than influence, and by the way, that goes into straight up madness if you leave it unchecked. And Minion, developing an unsavory reputation as a servile cur, as he's been willing to submit to the amorous advances of other men. -1 influence, oh dear, not thought of well in the ancient. To be honest, that's more of a Greek, well, it's kind of a Roman thing. Like, there's a really interesting thing in, like, the Greek world, which is, homosexuality wasn't really a concept they had. It was more about the fact that someone who was the active participant in homosexuality was fine, but someone who was the passive one wasn't fine, which is really, really weird when you think about it, but it's just kind of how the Greeks thought about male-on-male relationships. Romans, it's a little bit more all over the place, but there's kind of similar-ish thinking. Like, as I've said before, like, a lot of Hellenic thinking just influences Roman thinking. But anyway, let's not worry about that for now. Let's instead worry about the Carthaginian army. So, they've also got not much here, but they have got one decent Iberian infantry, albeit it's a little bit weakened because it's been besieged for a while. They've got a family member as well, who arguably is a better family member. Oh yes, he's got a whole bunch of really useful stuff with him. I suspect that, yeah, just because of the morale thing and because of the whole plaza thing, the Carthaginians should be able to win this fight. But let us watch and see if the Scipii manage to pull an amazing victory out of nowhere. But I strongly suspect they can't. So, let's move our unit of useless cavalry over here to go and join up with our friends over in the Scipii, or friends in inverted commas. This is the first Carthaginian town we've seen, by the way. The buildings are all kind of like a nice yellow brick. It looks more, yeah, I like how distinctive and different each style of town looks. Like, you could really tell the difference between like a Roman town and a Carthaginian one. And when we see the Carthaginian and the Egyptian look fairly similar, and the Roman and the Greek very, very similar as well. But it's still nice that there are kind of, you know, some very distinct different types of town. Now, I'm just going to get my guys behind here, and now we're going to see what the Romans can do. Now, naturally enough, the Romans can, oh, they're not going for the gate. They're just going to try and batter down the wall. Pretty much all the Carthaginians have drawn up here. Iberian infantry, skirmishers. That's the general, and then there's the basic cavalry. Yeah, then the round cavalry is at the back. That's probably not a bad idea. The general kind of throwing himself at the infantry as they try and kind of infiltrate in the first place. That's probably not a bad idea in the slightest. So I'm just going to get my cavalry at the back here. So yeah, rather than going for the gate, he's just going to go for the wall. That's fine if that's what he wants to do. So now we've just got to see how good basically it all comes down to what the Hastati do. So if the Hastati get themselves in a really bad position and end up like losing most of their strength, I don't really see a way that the rest of this army is going to be able to break in, unless of course the Roman general can win it by himself, which he could do, but then it's pretty much a coin flip as to who gets the better engagement, the Carthaginian general or the Roman general. And arguably it's probably going to break down to whether the Roman general gets bogged down in Carthaginian infantry or vice versa. Whoever general gets bogged down in the other's infantry, that side's probably going to lose. So he's taken out that. Now let's see what he's going to do. If he's clever, he'll now throw in the Pila at the Carthaginians, but we'll see. The skirmish... No, he's not. He's just charging straight in. The skirmishers are... Oh, that's a shame. The skirmishers are probably going to get in one round, and then... No, they're not. The skirmishers are going to get, unfortunately... Oh, hello. No, the Romans are just throwing everything in right now. So, actually, this kind of works to their advantage, because if the skirmishers and the infantry together can just hold out against the Equites. Oh, you see, the Equites are not doing their job right now. The Equites don't want to get stuck in slugging match versus infantry. It doesn't... Oh, but the skirmishers are broken, and that's going to cause some real trouble for the Iberian infantry. They are already wavering. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. That could have handed it to the Romans. Now the Iberian infantry, they're fine, but the general needs to turn this around right now. If the general charges in and hits those Equites, the general can beat the Equites really easily. The Iberian infantry can do a lot of damage to the Equites, but they're holding, which is impressive, but they're kind of surrounded. No, they're broken. Well, the Carthaginians have thrown away a significant portion of their strength right there, which is a real shame, because otherwise they had a really good chance here. That's not to say the Romans can't still throw it away, but it's going to be much harder now that the Carthaginians have just tossed away like their infantry by not supporting them. Though admittedly, the Carthaginians still have all their cavalry. Whenever a side still has cavalry, don't count them out, because cavalry can do ridiculously remarkable things in this game. The Romans still have... Roman general, Equites. Yeah, it's a decent Roman general. The Equites is a bit weak, though, and they'll break pretty quickly. And they're getting ahead of their infantry. Though, admittedly, the Carthaginian infantry doesn't really exist anymore, so that's fine. But, yeah, they're running way, way ahead. Are they going to run all the way onto the plaza? Because if they do, they'll basically have just undone any advantage they've just given themselves, because all of a sudden the Roman infantry advantage won't count for anything. But they're determined to run down the Carthaginians. Not a terrible idea. It's just right now, they should stop, back off, and let the Hastati go first, but I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to. Nope, they're going straight up onto the plaza. And now it's just a question of who gets the best charge in, to be honest. In comes the... Who's charging? It's Round Shield. Oh, no one's charging. And now they've both decided to charge. Yay! Okay. But this time, the general for the Carthaginians is... Oh, and the Roman Equites have just gone. They didn't like taking on that heavy cavalry. Okay, so the Romans have just thrown away their advantage. They were looking really good. Now it's looking a bit more dicey, because now it's general on general. By the looks of things, where's the Hastati? Way back over there. Now it's just general on general, and if the Carthaginians are clever, then their own cavalry will... No, their own cavalry's not going to get involved. Yes, it is! Okay, well, that's it. Their own cavalry's going to get involved. Their own cavalry's going to murder... Yep, the Roman general's dead. Roman general just died, and that should be pretty much your lot, to be honest. With the Roman general dead, they could have won that so easily. After that first engagement at the front door, the Scipii had this, and now they've just thrown it away. Although, admittedly, the Hastati could theoretically still carry the day. It's just now much less likely. Actually, the Equites are back. The Equites, they could now kill the Carthaginian general right back again, because the Carthaginian general... No, the Equites have broken, which is probably going to cause the Hastati to rout any second, unless they can kill the general's bodyguard, which they very much could do, because the Carthaginians have also left their bodyguard alone and not bothered sending support for him. Going down fast, it's pretty much... neck and neck, and now I'm looking at a tree. Where's their general? Is he exposed? Where is he? I can't see. There he is. No, he's pretty safe at the minute. And there goes the Hastati. And the Carthaginian general rides him down. Huge amounts of damage have been done to both sides. The Equites don't stand a chance against the heavy cavalry. The Equites will just be absolutely torn apart. They just don't stand a chance. Light cavalry cannot take on heavy cavalry. It's not their job. And there we are. That is that done. So now I just surrender myself and we're done. There we are. Clear defeat. You see that it was actually pretty even. which is, yeah, in terms of the Scipio versus the Carthaginians, they both got pretty much identical numbers of kills in, 240, but the Carthaginians just had slightly more men, and yeah, the Scipio really should have won that, but fortunately, they didn't, which is good, because that means they don't get this town. Meanwhile, the forces of Greece have no choice but to sally forth against the Scipiones, who have also been besieging them, so we've managed to deny the Scipio one town today, we might be able to deny them another. Now, the game thinks that the Scipiones ought to win very, very handily. They've got, yeah, the 2 dogs, 2 horses, and 1 unit of infantry, whereas these guys have, Though actually, think about it, they've got archers and hoplites. I mean, like, if I was controlling the Greeks, I would be able to easily win this battle, just because, well, dogs and equites versus phalanxes, well, that's just a no contest, and you've also got the range, because you've got the archers. Let's just see if the Greeks are capable of doing it, because I think they should be able to be honest. And hello, what's going on here? The Scipiones are running they running to try and join up with me? I don't know. So we've got a variety of Greek troops just kind of coming out here. They'll probably draw up just outside the gate, then they'll give up. But for whatever reason, yeah, guys, I'm coming over to you. It's fine. Just relax. Relax for a second here. It's all good. So let's just have a quick look at Syracuse while we're passing by. Has it grown any since that? Oh, yes, it has. Of course, sorry, I forgot. It's actually become a large city. This is the first time we've seen a large city, the 4th size of city. So now there's these massive councillors' chambers here. Very, very good indeed. And the entire layout of all of the roads changes as well, meaning actually approaching from this angle is quite difficult, because basically in order to get to the plaza, if you're coming from this direction, you have to come in here, round there, via the temple, via that road, and then come in this way. It's much easier to approach from that angle from the south, because then you can go on the walls and then you're straight up into the plaza. Now, what exactly are the Scipiones doing? What are they doing here? Because the thing is, yeah, technically the Greeks are the attacking force here, so the Scipiones can just draw up in a nice kind of defensive position and let the Greek city forces just throw themselves against them. But I wouldn't rule it out that potentially the Scipiones is just going to kind of completely mess this up by running in and managing to get themselves killed against wall defences. That's entirely possible. It's also interesting that neither side actually has a general. The Romans are being led by a unit of equites, and militia cavalry are leading the Greeks, who are kind of coming around the outside of the city right now. Actually, no, they're not. It's a different unit of militia cavalry that's coming out. The militia cavalry that is leading the city has decided, even though this is a sally battle, where if they lose the city, he's just decided he can't be bothered to get involved anyway, which is a shame, because the Greeks really need every single bit of strength they can muster right now. So, slightly awkwardly, the leaders decided he's not coming. Meanwhile, the Scipiones have just dropped defensively, as they should do. But the Greeks aren't actually attacking, which is a little bit on the awkward side, because if they don't, because I have the time limit for the battles off, technically no one can actually win. Right, guess this is up to me then. I need to try and flipping bait the Greeks forward. Oh, here we go, here we go. I've managed to get them to do something. They're moving slightly. And now they're thinking about facing me, and come on, there we go. That's right, follow me. Chase me, you stupid bastards. Oh no, there's nothing I can do. And now the Scipiones are thinking about, yep, getting involved. Beautiful. Now, let me just get around the back here. I've managed to get at least 1 unit involved. And if the Scipiones decide to release the war dogs, then that will draw all the forces into a fight. I'm just going to hide around the back here. Now let's see who's going to be clever enough to win this fight. The militia cavalry ought to just hang back, toss in all their javelins, and then stay at a range. Because I'm pretty sure the range of their javelins, it ought to be longer than the range of the peeler. But feels like, yep, yes it is. Though potentially they are, yep, they're going to be able to throw their own peeler too. So maybe it's not. But they're doing a bit of damage to Hastati at least. Not much, but honestly, they're probably taking more damage than they're dealing over in the militia cavalry units. Militia cavalry breaks almost immediately. Fine. Okay, I've managed to bait forward the next unit of militia cavalry, which is good. Now let's see if these guys can do anything better, because now I think possibly these Hastati are out of peeler. No, they've decided to... Okay, this is very awkward, because they've decided they can't be bothered to attack. The general is just hanging out back there, and as long as he's hanging out back there, there's no way these guys are going to attack, because they're waiting for the full army before they push in. And the Scipio are refusing to get involved. I'm just desperately trying to get a reaction out of the flipping Greeks here. So I don't feel like I actually slam into them, whether that'll work. But, like, they are on skirmish. So they do back off if I try and slam into them. So I can't do that. And, like, these guys respond. Yeah, if I just kind of murder a few of them, will that work? Okay, now, no, yeah, you see, maybe you want to follow me. How about following me? Oh, no, my unit's broken. Never mind. Come on, follow. Would you like to pursue or take on the Scipiones or anything? So here's the thing. I have no way of implementing a time limit. You said that when you begin the game, you can't change it within a battle. So there's no time limit. This battle will never end until somebody rounds. But both of these armies are perfectly content to just stand there and look at each other because the general of the Greek forces is content to just sit in his city and do nothing. I've never seen this before, so I guess I really have no choice but to exit the battle. And I don't... Wait, does that force a lose for the Scipio? Because technically, it says if I quit now, I will lose this battle. But technically, if this battle ends in a draw or times out or anything, the Scipio win by default because the Greek cities had to win this fight. Anything, like, it doesn't matter if it's a draw, then they win. So I don't know what happens now. I'm about to learn something about Rome Total War.
The gods test a man's faith. Today the enemy has snatched a victory that is undeserved.
Have they? Are we sure? Oh. So that there, hang on. That there was a flipping auto win for the Greeks. So basically, oh. Well, that's okay, hang on. I'm not actually willing to let that stand. I'm not willing to let that stand. I dropped a save. So basically, what actually happened there was any battle that I'm in with the AI, even if logically they will win it, if I just exit now, then that guarantees a loss for my allies. They can't actually win that fight, even though there's no way that should have happened, which is very, very interesting, but that's blatantly cheating. I've basically actually discovered how to cheat the game there. Like, I don't want to do that. I'm happy to just watch and let the game play out, but I'm not willing to actually do something as sneaky as entering the AI's games and then exiting now to make the AI also lose. That's just blatantly not fair. So I'm not going to do that. I'm now going to reload just before that, and I will probably, off camera, Lily Biome, which therefore the Scipio might actually win this time. That'd be unfortunate if so. Actually, this battle's going even better for the Carthaginians. This time they managed to get their Iberian infantry to safety on the plaza, so they didn't just lose those for no reason. Though they might be about to toss away their general, though admittedly, if they are, he did manage to first wipe out a significant portion of the Hastati, so actually this might be much more of a Pyrrhic victory, which suits me even better. Yep, there goes the Carthaginian general. Fine. He's managed to weaken the Hastati quite significantly, and the Equites were badly damaged as well. Though actually, the Romans could now go on to victory off the back of this, though I suspect Iberian infantry and round shield cavalry on a plaza will be able to take out the general. Because, yeah, if he gets bogged down in Iberian infantry, unless he wins, but I'm not convinced he can, to be honest. Yeah, they finished off the general, that's fine. But now light cavalry are coming in, light cavalry who can't break, together with infantry. So they should be able to take out the Romans. Oh yeah, the Romans are going down pretty quickly, in fact. And the Roman general flees, but does not die. Though the round shield cavalry are now chasing him down, and he's stuck. And, oh, a lucky escape. Look at that. He just snuck his way out there. Marvellous. So now, yeah, the Roman general's fleeing, but not dead. The Carthaginian general this time is dead. The Hastati have already been damaged, and the Equites are a little bit weakened too. So now it's just a question of, well, I think the Iberian infantry should be able to carry the day at this point. Plus, potentially, the Equites will break quickly because they were already damaged. They're steady. Yeah, the Equites is already gone, which may well push the Hastati over the edge. And then, yeah, this will actually be a more conclusive victory for the Carthaginians today. Okay, now, same thing again. Let's see if we run into the same problem, which is, yes, potentially the Greeks might not be willing to actually come out and fight. If we run into the same problem again, I'll just have to auto-resolve. But I don't want to, because that'll pretty much hand the city over to the Scipios. This is looking more promising. The general's once again inside the city, but this time he is actually bloody moving. So that's nice. But when I say he's moving in the wrong direction, as are several people. In fact, is he going back to the exact same position he was in last time? Please tell... He is! What is this? Well, not exactly the same. Last time he was over here, now he's here. but as long as he's there, that means the Greeks are going to refuse to advance. Because they don't advance until their entire army is present, unless the Scipio have decided they are willing to... No, they're not. So we're into the same situation again. Okay, so I'm going to have to load back to the original save, fight the Carthage battle a third time, and then auto-resolve this battle, because for whatever reason, this battle, the game has just decided this one's not going to happen, okay? Which is a shame, because that does mean I am effectively handing Syracuse over to the Scipii, but I'd rather do that than literally cheat them out of it by virtue of just exiting the battle now, because I'm willing to manipulate bad AI, but I'm not willing to actively cheat, and that feels too close to cheating. You know, I'm always glad I get to do this, because now I get to see the same battle being fought repeatedly, so I can see, like, how the AI makes its decisions, and how much of it is, like, hard-coded AI behaviour, versus how much of it is just pure chance. Because the battle has gone very similarly, but not quite the same, which is quite interesting. Like, there's a chance that the skirmishers may or may not get in one shot at the Hastati before the Hastati charge the skirmishers. Like, in this case, they got in one shot right there. Now the question is whether the Iberian infantry successfully extricate themselves. Yeah, they've successfully retreated. That normally means that victory now ought to really belong to the Carthaginians, because the Iberian infantry can easily take out the Equites if the Equites get themselves caught up, which they look like they stupidly will do. So now the... oh, no, wait, unless... Yep, there, the Equites have gone. Now the Carthaginian general gets himself killed, but does a large amount of damage to Hastati in the process. Very similar battle on this occasion. The Carthaginian is dead, having charged forward as before. The Roman leader has fled, but is not dead, which is... but I think the battle is happening off the plaza. But with the arrival of the cavalry, nice, easy victory for the Carthaginians. Yeah, it seems like the Carthaginians win that battle quite handily, though in all fairness, they did have 100 extra men on top of the Romans. And tragically, I'm just going to have to auto-resolve this one, so the game will just gift Syracuse to the Scipiones. That is a shame. I would have liked to have had it for myself. But, yeah, for whatever reason, bit of an odd bug with the enemy AI there. But it's a draw, but it doesn't matter. A draw still means the Scipiones win, doesn't it? Yes, indeed it does. Spain offers me trade rights. That's fine. I'd also like to swap map information for map information, please. Thank you. And, ooh, Spain have taken one of the Gaelic provinces off Gaul. That's nice. And it would appear the Scipiones were very annoyed at that whole having been trying to take over Syracuse for literally decades thing, because they have apparently burnt it to the ground. Marvellous. And, Patavium has finally grown. Good. Not quite ready to grow yet. I will let it finish its blacksmith, but nice to see Patavium growing so quickly. Lovely. And now we get our first look at... Oh, yes. This is just the thing. Our brand new improved armies. Yes, yes, yes. Extremely good quality armor, good quality weapons, loads of experience across the board, and you're no longer quite... Well, you're probably still the world's most boring man. It's just now you've got at least one facet to your personality. Athens is still under the influence of plague, unfortunately. Very, very sad for them. My assassin can go and... Any chance you can kill... 24% chance, that's not going to fly. 6% chance on the faction leader, however, of course, because faction leaders are very, very hard to kill. There's a couple of diplomats up there I could take out, including a Parthian diplomat. Wouldn't mind going and having a chat to him, purely for the sake of getting some information about... Oh, you're blocking the way, you git. Boo! Yeah, sadly, armies in the way do actually block access for diplomats too, which is a shame. Well, never mind, we do not have access to Syracuse, but I tell you what, the Scipiones are so flipping far behind us at the moment. We'll have more opportunities to spy on them later. Like, they'll at some point try and take Carthage with a proper army, and when they do, I imagine they'll choke on the proper walls, because it's the proper big stone walls the AI just doesn't know what to do with. Now, let's see what we can do here. Tarentum. Ridiculously rich, productive Tarentum. I love it. Build those highways, keep things moving around. Let's just keep moving all this trade super quickly. I love it. Especially if I need to get, like, troops up north in a hurry. Having a highway all this distance will be useful. Like, basically, like, the size of a territory doesn't matter for anything other than moving through it. So, like, the big territories that you have to pass through, and it's a very long distance, like Segestica, like Salona, like Tarentum, it is worth building highways on those guys, even if it doesn't necessarily give you much benefit, purely because of the advantage it gives you to moving troops around. How's Athens looking, by the way? Still plaguey. Right, nothing we can do there. In which case, we should probably change our objective for the minute, which is there's a whole bunch of really, really good islands. Now, the Greek cities are, in all fairness, Greek cities are kind of spent at this point, but we may as well start work here. There's a very important town here, Cadonia. I definitely want to be getting hold of that, though admittedly, my fleet has been kind of destroyed, so I need to move a new fleet over. Right, that's Carthaginian fleet here. Take you out. Hopefully we can sink you. Lovely. Then there's a Greek fleet right here. Hopefully we can sink that as well. Beautiful. Now we just need to move this fleet round as well. Do any of you carry any troops? I really hope not. I don't. In all fairness, I think we've sunk enough full stack Greek armies that hopefully there aren't any more now. Yeah, I'm just going to move this fleet round here, and we're going to try and get this fleet round to Sparta in order to get a force over to Cadonia and Crete here to take that place over, because that place is well worth having and doesn't look that well guarded. There's slightly more there than you might be expecting, let's just say. Ah, yes, now I just need to kick the flipping Carthaginians out of my country. They desperately don't want to fight me because they know they're going to lose, but yeah, handful of infantry, handful of cavalry against my vastly superior troops in both skill and number. This will be a walkover. Couple of cavalry just trying to charge in, but to be honest, I doubt they're going to do that well. They can do a fair bit of damage. That's the thing about the Carthaginian cavalry. Oh, it's already broken. Never mind. They can't do that well. Right, back off, keep drawing up. Yeah, that initial charge is difficult and dangerous, but once that's passed, we can just start picking them off, and now my archers, with the benefit of the high ground, can just start utterly murdering the Iberian infantry. Basically, a cavalry charge is the only real damage they can do to me. They can hurt me, but there's no real way they can finish me off. They're already broken, in fact, and now my archers can just start wiping them out. If anything, they managed to draw a bit of the javelin fire more than I'd like, but never mind. And now my archers can just start slowly picking off these Carthaginians. Lovely. We've lost sight of them, unfortunately. We've still got sight of some of them. So, yeah, we'll just wear down their front line, which means they've basically got nothing they can actually use to attack me with. Nothing too dramatic here. If they push forward, I just poke them straight back with the archers, and we're just slowly wearing them apart. That's the thing about a lot of Carthage's kind of basic early game troops. They actually hit pretty hard, but they've just not got the defense. So if you've got some decent indirect fire, they basically melt pretty quickly. Nothing too dramatic here. We just poke them a lot, and eventually they just collapse. Now we're just moving forward to finish it all off. Only thing that poses any threat whatsoever is the cavalry, and we're just murdering that with our own equites right now. Lovely. Yeah, nice, easy, 900 kills to 56, lovely. So that'll get the Carthaginians out of our territory. Though it will take us a little bit of time to get these lads back home for a quick refresh. Albeit, you know, in all fairness, they took minimal casualties, that's fine. Ah, it's so annoying that the flipping Scipiones got Syracuse. I would love to have gone and got that. But in all fairness, it probably would have divided my attention. New turn, doesn't look like anything major happened at the end of the last one. That's fine. Faction announcements, we've got... Ooh, Vibius Brutus picked up a drill master. Now that's good. Yeah, 25 movement points and 10% discount on unit training. That's a really good thing to have. Oh, he's over in Tarentum. To be honest, he doesn't really need that. I guess he trains some units, but the movement points doesn't really help him. Oh, he's downright miserly. +2 to Squalor, but you get the discount on construction costs and a bonus on tax income. That's kind of good, but yeah, the heightened risk of plague is a little bit on the worrying side. Are we back up to... Oh, we are now, I think, the strongest, largest, and most advanced faction. Beautiful. So let's just get those troops retrained at Tarentum, and I'm going to get a flipping ballista. It slows down your army because it's got relatively few movement points, but you can use it to batter down gates and stuff without having to bother building siege equipment. It's basically used for surprise attacks against cities. It is very, very useful under certain circumstances. Let's just quickly scan. I wish there was like a little kind of, you know, indicator above a ship based on like how much armor there is. Maybe there is actually. Maybe the sail fills up based on how much armor there is inside. I don't think so. I think that indicates how strong the fleet is. So sadly, if you want to know whether there's actually an army present, you actually need to double click on every single thing you see, which is a little bit on the irritating side. Right, let's just move my... You are no throw whatsoever. Ooh, you are a general, mind. Right, let's just move you over to here. And yes, next turn we can head over to Cadonia, and that will be very, very useful indeed. The Greeks are just randomly spreading out still, which is annoying. The plague has ended. I'm worried by how many troops just randomly floating around here. Right, let's just stay out of here for a minute. The Parthian diplomat has sadly wandered off, which is a shame. I would have liked to have spoken to him, but as I can't get through to these diplomats, I may as well head over here, see if I can find anyone interesting. Meanwhile, the Scipii are actually having another go at Lilybaeum, and this time, yeah, this time they definitely want to make it stick. This time there's nothing I'm going to be able to do to stop them. The town's already damaged, the units inside are already in bad shape. I may as well go and hang out with them anyway, just because they'll probably take a few more casualties if I watch them do it, but there's not much I'm going to be able to do to stop them. Meanwhile, well, this is interesting. Yes, a very, very small Roman army has decided to try and take on the Narbo Martius. I don't think that's going to work out well for them, to be honest, so I'm going to go hang out with that. Why would you have gone that route? Of all possible routes, why would you go that route when clearly the game said I could get down to the bottom, which is where it never mind. So, oh yeah, they've got, ooh, Spanish mercenaries. Those are cool. Together with a whole bunch of war bands and an actual family member as well. You don't look that tough, my good man. You do have 2 general units, though. Right, that is going to be an interesting little fight when that happens. Good, I'll keep an eye on that. But it does feel like the Julii are kind of stalling a bit here. Admittedly, the Gauls have got basically nothing either, but the Julii seem to have, yeah, they've got a little army there, tiny army here. They've got a massive army here they're not doing anything with, which is unusual, and a big army in Arretium, which again, they're just not doing anything with. Patavium is ready to grow. Finally, we're going to change this place from a kind of crappy little settlement that we just took over that was barbarian into a proper Roman city. Beautiful. So the army that's in Sparta is ready to send at least some of its strength over to Cadonia momentarily. In the meantime, the Greeks have presented me with an interesting opportunity here, which is they've left a small detachment of cavalry sitting outside the city. If I attack that with just the right strength, the city's guard will come out to fight, which actually works to my advantage. Ooh, Cretan archers, mind. Ouch, they've got their own Cretan archers, but damaged Cretan archers, because at least some of these units, yeah, they've repaired some of these units by healing them up after the plague finished, but they ended up in a situation where, of course, they can't heal up the Cretan archers because there's no way to retrain those guys because they're just mercenaries. So, probably, now would not be a terrible time to just head in there and... Oh, he's still suffering from the plague. Okay, I don't know if fighting a battle with someone puts my general at risk of catching the plague. I don't want to fight Athens just this second, just in case that is the case. Instead, prepare the world's most boring man to ship out. Let's actually send out... What's actually retraining at the moment, by the way? Presumably anything that's... Oh, nothing's retraining. Oh, no, some things are retraining. Sorry. Mainly Principes. Basically anything that doesn't have the experience bonus on it. Got it. So basically, we don't need, like, much over there, to be honest. 4 units of Hastati. Mercenary Peltas, 2 horses, dogs, and the Cretan archers will be more than enough, quite frankly. So we'll just head you over there. And then, yes, next turn, we'll be ready to head over to Cadonia. Lovely. And these guys can just... Oh, yeah, this place is growing pretty quickly. That's growing fast enough I can be trading troops without actually sacrificing troops. That works for me. And actually, I never really considered it, but over in Termon, where they've got the Temple of Athena, though that's pretty good for the 20% boost to happiness, I really may as well get those guys onto, as the kind of the growth rate here is pretty bloody, well, actually it's not even that low. It's mainly just low because I keep draining it for people. Yeah, as soon as we're done with the blacksmith, I may as well get the Juno Shrine going for them, because then at least we'll get the bonus growth out of the additional public health. So that will be useful at least. Yeah, it's a shame the Scipii are now on slightly more of a roll than they were. It's an unfortunate consequence, though I've actually just been too damn good at killing the Greeks. Like, if I'd actually been slower with the Greek cities and I'd ignored them and I'd focused more on, you know, on Bylazor, I'd headed north, or I'd headed against Carthage, then there's a possibility that there'd be enough Greek forces left over to guard Syracuse, the Scipii would have kept throwing themselves at it and they never would have taken it. But as it is, because I weakened the Greeks so much over here on Greece proper, as a result, eventually there was just nothing left for the Greeks to actually guard Syracuse with, which is a shame, but it's inevitable. We're massively ahead of the Scipiones, so I'm not too worried about it. Also, I should probably have a look at my popularity at the moment, by the way. I haven't really looked at this yet. So, over in the Senate tab and Senate floor. So right now in the Senate, I am reasonably popular. Lovely. And among the people, I am slightly popular. More popular than either of my rivals. This is good. Even though I'm not desperately popular in either, at the bare minimum, I am more popular than any of the other families, among both the Senate and the people, so that's pretty good. Well, not much more I can do now, so I may as well just end the turn and see what happens if the Gauls potentially attack the Julii, or indeed attack me. Technically, I'm neutral to them, but... Yeah, actually, that's kind of annoying. I might actually be getting in the way of the Julii, we'll have to see. Hopefully, there might be a battle over here that I can basically sabotage. Yes, yes, indeed there is, and it's one the Julii are totally screwed in. Marvellous. So yes, indeed, Lucius Julius, and in fact, this is the faction heir and another decent family member. So I can kill... Oh, look at this. They've got nothing. Like, basically no archers left. They've not been repairing these troops. Like, these are good, really good quality troops. And remember, the Julii don't have any form of building that lets them boost experience. Unless, of course, actually, they could have taken one off the Gauls. The Gauls do actually have, I think it's the Shrine to Wotan that lets them boost experience. So it's possible they retrain these guys at kind of a town with a shrine that they got out of Marseille, but then equally, these troops do not look like they've been recently retrained, given they're so flipping weak. Yeah, you guys are so screwed. There's 2 units of heavy cavalry there, another unit of heavy cavalry here. This is actually a battle between 2 really scrappy armies, but surely the Julii have got to throw this. They've just got nothing there. They're just going to get swamped and overwhelmed, surrounded, and they'll break on that basis alone. Oh, and it's going to be the most confusing of all battles, a battle that takes place inside a forest. Those are always ludicrously confusing. So I'm going to appear... Where am I coming from? Am I coming from the farm? No, I'm coming from... Oh, I'm coming from up there. That's no good. That's going to be confusing. Right, so I'm going to be coming from up here. I basically need to just sprint as fast as I can behind the Julii. Actually, the Julii's only chance here is if this force manages to get itself killed, admittedly. The heavy cavalry alone is going to do a very good job. I wouldn't push forward. I'd wait for your reinforcements. I really flipping would. Oh, this might be the barbarians who are about to throw. Because the reinforcements for the barbarians are coming up, and that's a significant number of troops. Actually, in all fairness, even if the barbarians toss 2 generals away, even then, I think the force in the town is going to be able to take out the survivors for the Julii. So, this is all the Julii have. It's basically their entire strength is the General's Bodyguard. Other than that, they've got, yeah, 2 units of Astarte, 1 unit which is a little bit damaged, Velites, a handful of archers. Bless you, brave boys. Bless you. That's incredibly brave of you, but I don't think this is going to fly. I think the Gauls are being sensible enough that they're going to wait for their reinforcements, which is good. Meanwhile, the Julii are going to start firing, but let's be clear, they're not going to do much with 6 archers. They might, like, you know, take out the odd barbarian mercenary, but not going to do very much. Yes, indeed. It would appear the Gauls are sensibly not going to throw. They could still throw, but not as much. Oh, no. Are they being... I think they're being baited forward. They're genuinely being baited forward by the flipping, get back over to the farm, just run. They're actually being baited forward by 6 archers. No, let's stop this down. Now, what are you going to do? What's your plan? So, heavy cavalry into the Hastati. So those Hastati are screwed. This group here is... The general suddenly can't be bothered to defend his own troops. The warband's not... Oh, this is a weird fight. These guys are bafflingly eager about being attacked from all sides by flipping barbarian cavalry. The barbarian cavalry is actually pretty decent, but now they've been surrounded by the Julii. They are probably... Oh, someone's dead. An enemy general has fallen. At least 1 enemy general is down now. Fine. Okay, so this force here has decided it wants to throw. But that's alright, because these heavy cavalry are still going to do a decent amount of damage to the Romans here. Oh, look at this. That is such a bad throw by the Gauls, though. That's ridiculous. That is, yeah, that's 1 group of barbarians, and that's the whole thing gone. I feel like what's left is just going to get straight up swamped by this. But equally, yeah, the fact that both those units of heavy cavalry are now on the run, though now you're sending Velites to hunt those down. That's a shame. You could really do with every single troop you can muster right now, Julii forces. Right, let's just let them get a little bit closer. That is that the 1 archer that's left? Oh no, that's 1 war dogs. I think the dogs are all dead too. Fine, you release the dogs. That's possibly why they all broke so quickly. The Velites have come back. I don't know where the archers are. You're possibly about to be being flanked. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I think the cavalry is attempting to flank, but equally, the Romans have got heavy cavalry, so a flanking maneuver against this small an army is not going to do that much good. In comes these guys. Barbarian mercenaries. Oh. mercenaries. There's the warlord. If the warlord wants to take on the general, that's fine, but he'll probably be able to have it because these guys have already seen combat today, especially if he's supported by the mercenaries. No, he's just going to smash straight into the side of the Hastati and not do that much damage to them, do a little bit of damage, but that means the warlord's in a bit of trouble. The warlord's got himself way overexposed. The barbarian mercenary cavalry have just thrown their lives away, as have these guys, basically. The warlord's done nothing. The cavalry's doing nothing. Something's broken over here. What broke? That is one unit. Oh, one unit of swordsmen. Fine. The war bands need to get involved, and the cavalry needs to get round the back. But, oh my goodness, I think I might have actually just saved the Julii. This fight looked like an absolute guaranteed win for the barbarians, and the Julii have managed to flipping win it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna play fair. I'm gonna totally play fair. If that's what happens, that's what happens. I've just gifted the Julii a victory. I didn't mean to. Fair enough, I can respect my Roman brethren, but it's those flipping heavy cavalry that just won the day right there. That's it. That's the forces of Gaul taken care of. I should have just auto-resolved. An auto-resolve there would have probably been a flipping loss. Yep. Well done. Well done to the Julii. I cannot complain. You've got even less troops than when you started now, but you've probably just taken the Narbo Martius. Oh no, apparently not. Apparently, they've still got to take out whatever's left in the town, which is not much, but there's still something there. How much is actually left of your army? Oh, blimey. Not much. You're basically just being carried by a really, really solid group of Hastati and also the generals, pretty much, aren't you? Yeah. Well, we'll see. He might well be able to throw against wall defences yet. And Salona has been promoted to a big old city. Let's get a shipwright going in. Oh, yes. That is just the thing we need there. Mines +1, shipwright. Salona is going to be a very profitable little base for us. But more importantly, yeah, there's a bunch of... Ooh. Hello. What are you guys doing here? Hello, Thracians. I'm thrilled to see you. Are you still dying of plague, by the way? And is anyone dying of plague? Are you dying of plague? No one seems to be dying of plague. Well, if you'd like to get involved, we might be able to get you involved in a second. Yes, actually. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it would appear that things are about to start getting a little bit odd, which is the Thracians have sent over a force that might be about to actually help me take Athens against the Greeks. And if they want to do that, I'm totally down with them doing that. Marvellous. I welcome our Thracian allies. We've got to go take Edonia. We've got to take over Athens. And we've got to figure out whether we can find any way of sabotaging. And when I say sabotaging, I've just flipping helped the Julii apparently. But I've got to find a better way to sabotage the Julii campaigns, as well as seeing if there's any way to stop the flipping Scipiones before they just march straight over to Africa itself and take Carthage, which I would really prefer them not to do. I prefer my Roman friends to be weaker than this. And we shall see if we can do that next time, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nerd. This has been Rome Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye. And our guys go in, and I think we completely missed. We totally missed. And a double charge. Oh, that's what we needed to be seeing. Nice. Give them something to think about while they're going home, Balthazar. Got my timing just about right there. Stupid gits.